Hello, if you're seeing this means I decided not to film a separate intro, which means I'm behind again and I'm doing minimal effort. So, hey, what's up? Today we're actually doing a fitness video. I know, gasp, not a food haul, not a cook with me. I thought I might as well just actually fulfill my promise of being a fitness and nutrition channel by actually addressing some of the fitness parts. And today we're going to be doing a video that has been floating around YouTube for a while, but I'm doing a little bit of a twist on it. I don't know if you've seen these military physical readiness tests, but a lot of fitness YouTubers have been throwing themselves into them, seeing if they can pass without any prep. I thought I would take a turn and go for it, but instead of doing Army or Marines or any of that, we're going to be doing Navy today. We will also be doing Army and Marines. We're gonna do as many military physical readiness tests that I can find and see how many of them I can pass. And today we're gonna be doing the Navy physical readiness test, which is comprised of 3 parts. One is a 1.5 mile run, another is sit-ups, and another is push-ups. And the 1.5 mile run I'm going to do first because it's the one I am most nervous about, to be quite honest. I am a very fit person, but I have short little legs. I'm nervous that I am just barely going to pass as far as the time goes, because satisfactory is a 1.5 mile run, 15 minutes 45 seconds, which is like a 10.5 pace. That should be fine, but I'm still nervous. So I'm gonna do it first so I have the most energy for it and get it out of the way. And then we're gonna be doing sit-ups and push-ups. Each of those I have to do for 2 minutes and see how many I can complete in those 2 minutes. And my results for each of these tests has a point correlation. And you add your points up and average them, and your final score is going to tell you whether or not you pass or not. And beyond passing, there's also a rating for medium, good, excellent, outstanding, and max. I am not just trying to pass here, but I am trying to excel here. So without further ado, let's get running. Okay, we're done. 13:48. Well, it's definitely passing. Wow, that was tougher than I thought. Within the first few minutes, I got an awful cramp. And there's nothing I could do about it, except keep going. And now I'm nervous about those sit-ups because my abs are cramping so much. But honestly, that was a little tougher than I thought because I just didn't know how to pace myself in the beginning. I played it a little bit conservatively so I didn't burn out. And then at the end, I just used up the rest of what I had. 13:48 is in between excellent and good. Closer to excellent than good. I wonder how to calculate those points if you're in between, because good is 1453 and excellent is 1323. I guess I'll figure out how to calculate that. We're gonna do push-ups and then sit-ups. I'm not exactly sure if I should be doing these in any order, but I'm gonna give my core a little bit of a break and do some push-ups. 2 minutes of push-ups. I have to get at least 15, which I know I'll do. Max is 46. Try to land somewhere in the middle. That sucked more than I thought it would too. Oh man. For the record, everything I looked up said you were allowed to rest. You just had to rest in the upright position, not on your chest on the floor. So, for those of you about to bitch at me for taking rests in between, look it up, sweetie. Next is sit-ups, and I have to get at least 47 in 2 minutes. I feel like that shouldn't be too bad. I keep saying I feel like it's not gonna be that bad, and then I finish and I hate it. So maybe I'll do the opposite. Okay, this is gonna be hell. This is gonna be pure hell. Let's do it. I'm gonna review the footage, get my actual numbers, calculate them, and come back with my average and the final verdict. Stay tuned. Okay, we back. Day 2, new day, new me. Just kidding, same me, but fresh legs. And we're ready to do the Army readiness test today, which I looked it up and it said that it's pretty much the same thing as the Navy readiness test, except instead of 1.5 miles, it's 2 miles, and it's still 2 minutes of sit-ups and 2 minutes of push-ups. I don't know. I don't know how much value this is bringing to you by doing basically the same thing over again, but I will be interested to see how much I can handle 2 miles at a fast pace, because usually if I'm doing steady state cardio, it's like 2 miles of like 11-minute pace running, because I'm not a runner. I pick things up and I put them down and I hit things. I'm not about that life. So 2 miles at pace should be fun. Excited for that. Hopefully I think it's safe to say good performance with my push-ups and my sit-ups last time wasn't a one-off, and I'll see if I can replicate it. Here's hoping the Marine test kind of is a different challenge. 2 miles, here we go. I don't know if I'm just incredibly well fed or Todrick was like getting me through my playlist, but I went over 2 miles and didn't realize it. 2:06, 18 minutes. I mean, that doesn't make it easy on me because now I gotta calculate to figure out what 2 miles was, but I kept the same pace the whole time and I wasn't that tired. Just goes to show that conditions can change wildly on a day-to-day basis, because I was anxious about 2 miles as opposed to 1.5 miles, and I killed it. I know I passed. I don't know what category I fell under, because this time I didn't print out the parameters and bring them in the gym with me, because I knew that would kind of influence, because last time I was running I just had like the pace I needed to get in my head going over and over. I didn't want that. I wanted to just run to run, and I guess it worked out because I went over 2 miles. Yes. Why is that so much harder? This just keeps getting harder and harder. You know, it doesn't help that I killed arms yesterday. I know, excuses. Since I don't have a partner to hold my feet, you gotta get a little creative. Hi. I'm just gonna lay here for a while. So, I wasn't really counting either of those, because I was just trying to focus on pumping them out. But if I'm predicting correctly, I think I got more push-ups than the Navy test and less sit-ups. So I guess evens out. I don't know. We'll see. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be attempting the next branch of the military, whether that be Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, what have you. And based on how exhausted I am right now, I think I'm in trouble. It's Marines Day! So unfortunately, I have to report that the Marines physical readiness test is very much like the first 2 tests we've already done, but instead of 1.5 or 2 miles, it's 3 miles. And instead of sit-ups, it's crunches. But good news, the push-ups can be replaced with dead hang pull-ups, which I will be trying today. Push-ups, I definitely feel a little more confident in my ability to at least pass on push-ups, but pull-ups, I've like maxed out at 3. I don't know if I'm just extra dense or, you know, dash, but can't lift this baby up. At least not very well. But I really want to push myself. I want to go outside my comfort zone. I want to do anything to be able to switch this up a little bit. So we're going to substitute the pull-ups today. Just so you know, in case you want to attempt this yourself, as of January 1st, 2020, the crunches can be replaced by a plank. I think you have to hold it for over 4 minutes, which is a beast. And I don't even know if I could do that, but I'm not going to even attempt, because first, it's not technically January 1st, 2020 yet, at least the day I'm filming this. And that seems like cheating. And second, my lower back is a bitch. And I know that when I plank, like, it just, I know if you're holding your core tight enough, your back shouldn't feel it at all, but like my back is so concave that it's a mess. I'm just gonna not set myself up for failure on that one since I'm already setting myself up for failure on the pull-ups. And we're gonna do the crunches, and that's a 2-minute window as well. So what we're gonna do is do the pull-ups here on my dead hang bar, and then we're also gonna do the crunches here at home, which, if it wasn't obvious, is where we are right now. And then for the 3-mile run, my intention was to do this at home and do the 3-mile run at the bike trail that's behind my apartment, but I've procrastinated and now it's pitch black and I'm trying to stay sexy and not get murdered here, so I'm not about to go run 3 miles in the pitch black. Oh, my arm. So we're gonna run over to the gym and do the 3 miles there. The gym's like literally less than 5 minutes away from my apartment, so don't worry, I'm not getting some cheat rest time here. It's gonna be pull-ups, crunches, run, break. Does that count? Please tell me that counts. Please. I was screaming at my muscles to do it. That was like my max muscle recruitment. They just were not picking up the call. Does that count? Just so you know, if you see me squeezing out of this gym shark dreamy set at any point during these crunches, mind your damn business. I can't believe I used to think that crunches were like a bastardized version of a sit-up. A crunch is so much harder. It's all just like mid-lower ab. Oh, baby. My skin's looking pretty snatched. I had to do a face mask. Yeah, I'm not trying to brag or anything. We're here at the gym, and I can already tell by driving past the windows and the parking lot that there is more people here than I'm comfortable with while I'm filming. I just don't want to do the whole voiceover like display thing with a bunch of other people in the gym. It's just, they get annoyed by it, I get annoyed by it. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show you actual footage of me running. What I'm gonna do is record it properly on my Garmin, and then I'll come back and show you the stats and see how we did. I'm sorry, this video is requiring a lot of trust from you, and I understand that and I appreciate that, and I will not forget it. Well, I did it, but just barely. That was so rough, which I know I'm dramatic. I say it every time I run, like it's the end of the world, but it was. Because not only was it 3 miles, which I normally only do like 2 miles steady state, so 3 miles, like I don't have a lot of practice in it. I've ran 3 miles maybe like twice in the past 2 months. So not only was it just like not something I was ready for, it just, conditions were not ideal. It's the end of the day. I've already been doing a bunch of other stuff. I'm tired. Definitely did not drink enough water today. I ate like half an hour ago, which is in retrospect probably not the greatest choice to eat right before running, but I did it. And I seriously considered quitting. I was like, I should just do this on another day. I should just try this whole thing over, or I should just say I failed this one and move on. There was a point where I was like clutching my side, like, can I do it? And then I was like, do you really want to do this bullshit all over again? You're already at 2.4 miles. You want to have to do this again? So I kind of bullied myself into it, which, like, be kind to yourself. Wouldn't recommend it, but you know, works for me. So I did record it on my Garmin. Here we go. 3 miles. Let focus. 3 miles. If you're not an idiot, you can see that was 28.12 for time, which was a 9:24 pace. I don't have the parameters sitting in front of me, but if I remember correctly, that's not that far from just like barely passing. I think it's 30, I have to do it under 30 minutes for my gender and age group. I could be wrong about that. For me, a 9:24 consistent pace is pretty good. I'm pretty sure that the last 5K I ran was
a 29:30, 29:19, 29 and change. So that's pretty on par with that. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the fact that I was able to push through and just talk myself into it, because the last time I ran that long was a 5K and my time was really good, but also conditions were like ideal that day. Like I had eaten the perfect fuel, I had hydrated, it was first thing in the morning, I was limber, like all those things. And the fact that I was able to replicate that performance to an extent when I felt like shit is good, because when you're taking one of these military readiness tests, like there's no, you know, can I come back another day? I have to poop. Like, no, you just do it. So I just did it. We're back in the office gym today, and I am here to finally complete my military tests. We're doing Air Force, which there's a Coast Guard one too, but we're not doing Coast Guard this time around. I know I said I was gonna do every single one, but Coast Guard requires swimming. And it's January and I don't have access to an indoor pool, so we're just gonna take the L on that. Let's just say we failed the Coast Guard. That's fine. The Navy's better anyway. So Air Force, very much like the others, but a minute instead of 2 minutes, a minute of push-ups and a minute of sit-ups and a 1.5 mile run. I'm gonna do my push-ups and my sit-ups here on the mat, on the floor, and then much like I did with the last test, I'm just going to show you my Garmin results after the fact, because I'm going to run outside actually instead of on the treadmill. I'm doing this new challenge called 75 hard, and you have to work out twice a day, and one of those workouts has to be outside. Be on the lookout for a video about that once I finish, if I finish. So we're gonna conclude today. We're gonna do my push-ups, we're gonna do my sit-ups, I'm gonna do my running, and then I'm going to take all the data, bring it back together, sit down, give you my final thoughts, my final results, and see what we learned from this whole thing. All right, I'm back. I finished my run, a 1.5 miles. As you can see, 13:03, and I got a Garmin alert for setting a new record for my fastest mile. Ooh. I'm trying to find out here. I think it was 8:38 was the first mile. I hit 8:38, so that's my fastest mile to date. Though I gotta say, I need to learn a thing or two about pacing, because I went real quick out the gate, hence my new record, and then paid for it at the tail end of the run. That was rough. I think I've decided that my kitchen, as I was saying, I think I've decided that my kitchen is my favorite place to film. I've pretty much tried every room in the house, but the kitchen is my favorite for a couple reasons. One, I get to stand. Standing and chatting just seems so much more natural. I have tried so many times to do the whole sit down video thing. I even once contemplated getting a backdrop. I know, but this standing thing, it's where it's at. I think this is my in-between. Not a vlogger, not a sit-down video gal. I'm just a stander. I'm a stand in your kitchen gal. Yeah, that and rambling. Those are my genres. We're here because I finally got all my footage together, and sorry, I'm watching Stephanie Buttermore. I finally got all my footage together and came up with my final results for my physical readiness tests. And the news is pretty great. I got into the military. I mean, I could if I wanted to, probably, based on this. So if you remember, the Navy military test was a 1.5 mile run, push-ups, 2 minutes of push-ups to be exact, and 2 minutes of sit-ups. There was a point system correlated to how well you did on each of those things based on your age range and your gender. Those points are then added together and averaged, and then based on that final score, you're given a rating beyond pass or fail. I passed, but I also got the rating of low good, because I got basically just scored good on every test. If I got like 2 goods and an excellent, then I would be high good. You know what I mean? The performance level ratings are maximum, outstanding, excellent, good, satisfactory, medium, and probationary. And I'm slightly better than average. Yeah! Honestly, you knew how worried I was about that running. I'm slightly better than average is fine with me. after Navy, we did Army, and that is also a point system. Basically, just add it all together like Navy, but not averaged. That final score judges whether you pass or fail. I got a 17:28 for 2 miles of running, 40 push-ups, 52 sit-ups, which brought me to 236 points. Minimum to pass is 150 points, and 270, you reach a badge. I know, that's very vague, you reach a badge, but like I try to look it up, and basically it's a PRT badge of honor for doing better than just what's required of you. 236 and 270, you get that? Not too bad if I say so myself. So Marines is a different classifying system altogether. According to what I found, the Marines is also a point system like Army, but then beyond that there's classes. Well, that got me 207 points for my gender and age, which puts me in the second class. First class being the best. So not better than them, but as long as I'm better than someone. All right, Air Force was where it got complicated. Honestly, I thought that Air Force was gonna be the easiest because it was a 1.5 mile run, yes, but only a minute of sit-up and push-ups. But the information I looked up, I wasn't really sure what the parameters were. For a second, I swear to God, I thought I failed based on what I read. And I was like, are you kidding me? I got too cocky. Air Force? Really? I mean, no tea, no shade, but Air Force? So I was confused because there's different PT requirements based on entry and graduation. And that was the first I saw of that. I kind of thought all of these were just entry, like you had to be able to do this and I assume maintain that before you graduate boot camp or whatever it is. But the way that the Air Force is set up, it seems that you have a certain level of requirements for entry, and then in order to graduate, you have to vastly improve those. So technically I got into the Air Force because I had to get 21 minutes and 35 seconds or less, and you had to get at least 5 push-ups, 9 sit-ups. Also, your max abdominal circumference has to be less than 35.5 inches. Which to me just seems kind of weird. Like, that's just your shape. Like, what if you're just like a beefcake, you know, and you can pump out these push-ups and sit-ups no problem, but you got a beefy waistline? I mean, it seems like a weird thing to get worked up about, but okay. And then in order to graduate, I'd have to improve. I'd have to get 14:26 or less on the 1.5 mile run. I'm already good there. Which surprises me. That's the one thing I'm good on, because push-ups you have to get 18, which I didn't. I got 15. If I knew I had to get, see, this backfired, because in the beginning I looked up the parameters and then I did everything according to them and then held back. And now towards the end of this, I was so freaking tired that I got lazy, because if I knew it was 18 to graduate, my competitive ass probably would have been like, all right, we're doing it. 18, come on, even if you cry. But I did 15, because I thought that was enough. And then sit-ups has to be 38 and I did 29. Same thing there. So I got into the Air Force, but your girl needs some work before she can graduate. Also, your max ab circumference has to go down to 31.5. You have to get smaller when you're in the Air Force? There's no bulking in the Air Force? Wow, that sucks. All right, so done, I finished it. What did we learn from this? What did I learn from this? What was the point? I kind of just want to see if I could do it. I mean, I saw it floating around. I was like, I want to give it a try. I want to give it a try. Just because I'm very competitive with myself. That's the most obvious thing about me, hence me doing the 75 hard challenge right now. Like, who am I competing with? No one, just me. But yes, there was a part of me that just wanted to see if I could do it. But also, the military sometimes seems like so physical. The physicality of it is just in your face. It's like one of the main defining characteristics of it. The people who are in the military aren't tested on their ability and their physicality, and I guess just because it's such an institution, you would assume that the tests that these military branches put out are designed to really pinpoint someone's level of ability. And I was surprised to find that it's just running and different forms of body weight exercise, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, pull-ups, planks, and no one's testing to get into the military by trying to grunt out 80-pound low rows. It was kind of nice because it brought me back to just functional fitness, just working out in a way that optimizes the way my body moves and just like day-to-day activities, because I was forced to focus on just like my form and trying to be as efficient as possible instead of trying out new stuff because I'm bored and just lifting dumbbells over my head because I can. You know what I mean? That sounds so jaded, but maybe the simplest things are the most effective, because I kind of thought push-ups, sit-ups, that's it? Really? Okay. It was hard. It was really hard. I learned that my push-up form sucks, which you can see. And towards the end, when I was doing my push-ups for Air Force, I had to get my act together because my bad form was actually stopping me from doing more. You'd think that because it's the path of least resistance and what your body just wants to do and be lazy, that it's because it's easier. It's not. Mentally it's easier, but if you actually take the time and focus on your form and recruit the muscles you're supposed to recruit, those push-ups got so much easier once I started using more chest and less shoulders. I think I learned that there's value in getting back to basics. That people can show off all you want, but if you can't do a sit-up and engage your core in the most basic way, what are you training for? Just to look good? Do you want your body to work well, serve you well? You want to be physically ready at any point. So I think it would be really interesting to come back to this every once in a while and just kind of like check in and maybe do one of these tests just to ground myself and measure progress and keep it simple. You know, utmost respect to people who do train for these and have the time to prepare, and with all that time really make sure that they perform to the best of their ability because they want to serve our country. That's awesome and that's incredible, and I'm not making light of it in any way. And as you can tell, big fan. So support those troops, baby. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna edit this, I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna watch some Bon Appetit on YouTube. Oh, shout out to my friend Becca for making me binge those gourmet makes videos, because I've watched every single one by now. And Greg has too. He yells at me when I watch them without him. I need to go do that. He's not home. Shh. He doesn't watch my videos anyway. He won't know.
Don't forget to be nice to yourself and to other people too. Okay, bye.